Yeah. So what? It's your boy, Bits and Bobs. Yes, people, episode 26. And to be honest with you, this is quite a funny one, this one, actually. We have a gentleman in the building who is from Congo originally. He used to play football. He is a YouTuber. He is a Manchester United fan. And also this week, and the last few weeks, actually, he's been getting a few trolling on social media. People are clipping him up. So let's just get him on. And get him to start speaking about himself. Mr. Aaron United, welcome to the Bits and Bobs show. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yo, thank you for having me on. Come on, bro. Thank you for having me on, bro. It's a pleasure, and I can't wait to dive into everything we want to talk about today.
100%. And do you know what? Listen, it's an interesting one today because for me, obviously when I first met you virtually, I said I'm a fan. I watch your stuff, and now actually I've been on your show. You've moved on. I took your old job, and it's like, okay, you've went on now. You do more shows. You're doing more independent stuff.
Yeah.
And one thing that hasn't changed is the trolls. So before we get into that, okay, Wagwanji, what's good? How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Obviously, we're still in a pandemic, so I'm still doing everything from home. One thing for me is I know there's people struggling with it, and I've had a little period where I've struggled with it as well. But I've learned how to cope with it. I've gotten used to everything literally being virtual now. Calling family, calling friends, doing content with you guys. Obviously, even if there wasn't a pandemic, obviously you live in Scotland, I live in England, so it probably would have been virtual anyway, but we probably would have met by now already if there wasn't
100%.
a pandemic. Do you see what I mean?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
So I've gotten used to everything being virtual, and then Boris has put out a few dates out there, and fingers crossed we actually get to those dates, and we can get back to normal life. And that's all I'm hoping for right now, because there's a lot of things that I took for granted, to be honest.
Okay, so let's jump on that. What did you take for granted, Aaron? Because I think I know what you mean, but people only see you on the screen, Aaron.
Yeah.
They only hear your football views.
Yeah.
They
do.
So what have you taken for granted during this lockdown, this pandemic?
Just small things, man. Sometimes when you get that phone call or a text from a friend to say, yo, let's go outside, man. Let's go to the park and just have a walk. And you're like, nah. Now, I wish I could just go to the park with, more of my friends, because obviously when it's just two, you could probably do that. But when it's like 5, 6, 7 of you, then obviously now it's forbidden. But I definitely took that for granted, man. And I just wish right now I could just go to the park and just sit down and have a chat with my friends, man. Do you know what I mean? And
your friends, though, we are going to come to your friends, but it's weird, isn't it? Because of a pandemic, a virus, you don't physically get to jam with your friends,
Yeah.
And to just being able to be like, yo, what's good, being in the same area, and just people don't realize that it's tough, man. Because obviously, people, I'm going to dive into this, but people don't know you personally, but you're actually quite a positive person. And it's weird, isn't it, when your life luxuries are taken away from you?
Yeah.
They're not luxuries to you because you're like, I'll just go see the boys, I'll go outside. But actually, we can't do that right now. So we know it's a luxury. And it's a testament to you for admitting that, to be honest, because a lot of people would just be like, oh, it's fine, I don't need this, I don't need that. But we all know inside that we do need something to keep us going. Escapism. Some may say YouTube. I'm going to segue onto that. You're a YouTuber. What's it like?
To me, I still feel like I'm very much new to it, even though you know, some people might think I'm I don't know, big time YouTuber, which I'm not. I even had I was struggling with I was struggling with people calling me a YouTuber in the first place because I didn't want to be put on that kind of level. I just, at the beginning, I just wanted to be called a content creator. That's it, because that's what I do. But it's the YouTube's going well right now. Closing in on 10K. I started this in December 2018.
Okay.
2018. I was a big fan already of. I was a big fan of big YouTube channels at the time already. The Football Terrors, United Stand, AFTV. There was another one, the former Chelsea one. What's it called again? 100% Chelsea.
Yeah, 100% Chelsea. But they've changed now, right?
Yeah.
Quiz or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Louis has gone on to do his own thing. Shout out to him. And obviously Lewis is gone on, hopped on Blues Fans TV. So, and I don't know if he's still affiliated with them, but that's what I'm assuming. So
disclaimer.
I literally don't know. So I just don't want to say anything wrong. But I was a big fan of fan channels before I started my own. And I think what made me start it was, and you might remember this, our defeat to Liverpool away, 3-1. Pogba on the bench. Mourinho was still in charge, and I think a few days after he got sacked, and that was literally that defeat was what got me mad, bro. And I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna start it, boom. And members of my family and friends, they were like, "Oh, you're really good at this. You should carry on." And I didn't know initially. I just wanted to put that video out and stop it. That was it, because I just had so many frustrations about the club and Mourinho at the time. So friends and family were like, "Nah, keep going." And I was like, "All right, cool, let's give this a go." And here we are, man. Almost 2.5 years later, closing in on 10K. And I never thought that this YouTube journey would have taken me where I am today. And I'm extremely grateful for all the little milestones. God is good, man. And I'm extremely grateful for all the little milestones that I've been able to reach, from 1K all the way to 9K, closing in on 10 now. Grateful for every opportunity, man.
So let's talk about some of the opportunities you've had. Okay.
Yeah.
Football was an opportunity you had. Okay?
My first love.
Yeah. Our first love.
Yeah.
I think it's many men's first love. Hold tight, all the girlfriends out there and the wives and so on. Yeah, man. So football, like, I mean, let's be honest. We all want to play football. You know, unfortunately, some of us don't get opportunities because of luck. And I say luck, Aaron, because you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Sometimes it is luck, isn't it? Because to be spotted is opportunity. It's just sheer luck. You know, we've both been scouted before, and I'm sure we both probably think like, wow, okay, you know, and you get opportunities. Now, you had an opportunity to play against the current European champions, the club anyway. So I mean, listen, I've watched Manny's show. Hold tight, Manny.
Shout out to
this
Manny.
guy, Manny works so hard outside of YouTube, and it's crazy, man. The money has to be made. So I've spoke with you about it, and I've heard your stories. So like, for the people on the Bits and Bobz channel, I mean, can you tell us a bit more about the opportunity when you played against Bayern Munich?
Yeah, man, that was and will still remain until this day the most beautiful day of my life, man. I sometimes I still have to pinch myself when I look back at my pictures, and I'm thinking, was that really me? Because it all went so quick that I don't know. Like, looking back at it now, 2021, this happened in 2012. So next year is going to be the 10th anniversary, if you like, of what happened to me. So,
yo, shout out Daniel, man. Yo,
shout out to Daniel, bro. He knows, bro. Football is life.
Yeah, football is
life.
Please, if you're new, guys, please drop us a subscribe, like, and share the video. Let's get the likes up as well. Sorry, Aaron. Please continue.
No worries, man. No worries. So for those who are very much into football the way I am, and you, and probably Dan as well, there was a program back in the day called Nike the Chance, where various footballers around the world were given a chance. And I think the manager at the time, I forgot his name, man. But yeah, if anyone knows in the comments, drop it. So Nike the Chance was a program where young footballers, unsigned footballers around the world would get an opportunity to get into the Nike Academy,
Shout
play
out
against...
Boche. Sorry, Aaron. That's football capital. That's Boche from Australia.
Oh, wow.
My Macedonian brother. So big up to you,
Okay.
man.
Speaking of Australia, I'm going to get to that in a minute. So unsigned footballers had the opportunity to get into the Nike Academy here in the UK, play games against top teams, not youth sides of top teams here in the UK, and I believe sometimes even abroad. And at the end of it, or in the middle of in the process of the whole show, if you had a good game, you could get scouted and be a professional. And you just mentioned your boy there from Australia. I think that guy is the only guy that I know personally from that show. I mean, not on a personal level, but like that I remember from the show that's still active, a professional footballer, still active, that came from that academy. And that's Tom Rogic from Celtic.
Are you serious?
A lot of people don't know Tom Rogic from Celtic started with the Nike Academy. I remember watching him on YouTube, got his pro contract, and he never, looked back ever since. So obviously playing for the Socceroos as well. Shout out to Australia. And he made his dream come true, man. So, but that was a show that I really liked to watch. And for those who know, I was born and raised in Germany. Spent 13 years of my life there because my dad was an architect and he used to work with a group of people where they would move from one city to another and work on several buildings for a number of years in that city and then move on to the next one. So that explains why, I was born in Berlin where they worked on various projects. Yeah. Stayed there till I was about 7 years, moved to Cologne. They worked on different projects there, stayed there till I was 13. Then we moved to Belgium, stayed there for 10 years. And I've been in the UK for over 4.5 years now. Okay. So whilst being in Belgium, I remember we had 2 TVs. So we had normal TV in the living room, but then we had what we call Fire Stick now. Back in the day it was satellite. We had that in the kitchen, and I purposely wanted that to happen because I didn't want to lose my German, because languages are very important to me. I wanted to keep my German, so I'd purposely still watch a lot of football games in German. So I remember one morning I was getting ready. And I was late for school, and I remember just seeing an advert saying, "Sign up now and you can end up playing against Bayern Munich." And I looked at the advert like, you guys are capping. That's never going to happen. So I'm in school, but I keep thinking about the advert. So I'm thinking, okay, when I go back home, I'm going to go online and try and sign up for this thing. So it wasn't like a Nike the Chance thing, but it was a competition sponsored by Bayern Munich, Adidas, and a non-alcoholic drink, which is called Paulaner. And the whole aim of this was to promote the Bavarian culture to the world and give the opportunity to young footballers in the four German-speaking countries, which is Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and a little part of Belgium, the opportunity to play against Bayern Munich, against their idols. So I signed up, cool, basic information, and you had to upload a few pictures and footages and stuff. And at the bottom of the screen, you could see every day the number of people that would sign up for this thing. So I was one of the first. So I'm seeing, okay, 1,000 people. I'm like, all right, cool. 1,000 people. I could maybe, get into being called up for the trials. Yeah. But as the weeks are going on now, because I signed up around January. As the weeks are going by, I'm seeing the numbers go up, and it goes to 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. I'm like, you know what? Just, forget it. I'm never going to be picked. And in the end, we ended up being over 14,000. Wow. Across the 4 countries signing up for this thing. So they sent out an email to everyone and said, okay, please give us a week, and we're going to trim the almost 14,000 down to 112 players that we're going to invite to the training complex in Munich at Bayern Munich. So where they actually train. And I read the email and I'm just like, there's no way I'm going to get picked. No way. Surprise.
It's weird though, Aaron, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's weird though. I want to break it down because I don't think people realize Like you're saying 14 plus thousand, that's like some people's stadiums.
I'm telling you. And they're picking one person to play against Bayern. That's crazy.
Please
Literally
carry on.
crazy.
Please carry on.
So surprise, a week later I come back and usually I used to be the kid that used to get in trouble a lot, and my mum would always like, have a go at me and stuff. And I knew that look my mum would give me if something's wrong in it. So I come back from school and my mum's sitting there in the living room with a letter on the table, and I'm just like, oh, what the hell did I do again? And I'm starting to think, okay, what could have happened? What did I do? She gives me the letter and she goes, read it. Congratulations, Aaron. You've been selected among the 112 players to be invited to the Bayern Munich training complex.
Imagine.
I dropped the letter and I just screamed. I couldn't believe it, bro. I was about to go to Munich to see some of my favorite players train, or just to train at their complex, period, bro. So obviously time goes by and we get to that closer to that date. Obviously they arranged everything for me to go, and I was so excited that I went to the airport, got there, and realized that I'd forgotten my passport.
I know this story, but this part always gets me. You're going to the airport and you forgot your passport. And also, when you hear the footballers, oh, he's forgot his passport.
Yeah, that's just...
How is that possible, Aaron?
Excitement. That's the only thing I can put it down to. Excitement. Or when it happens to the pros, it's probably just, they were being negligent and they forgot. But, and at the time for me, 2012, I had never gotten on a plane before. So I'm extra excited. I'm going to Munich. I'm going to train at the Bayern Munich complex, and I'm getting on the plane for the first time. Bro, excitement was through the roof. I didn't sleep that night. Forget it. Trying to put me to sleep get me to sleep was impossible.
I can imagine you're about to see Bayern Munich players. Bro, what is sleep?
Oh, Lord. So I get there, realized I forgot my passport. My mum's fuming. So we had to call the organization and explain the whole story. And they were like, cool, give us a few minutes. And they managed to book me a train ticket from Brussels to Munich. So instead of spending 2 to 3 hours on a plane to Munich, from Brussels to Munich, I spent 10 hours on a train from Brussels to Munich.
But did that matter? Did it matter?
No, of course not. I mean, I got to sleep on a train at least. Do you know what I mean? I got to sleep on a train, got to Munich. Someone was there to pick me up, and we got taken to a hotel. And the next day, they drove us to the Bayern Munich complex. Now, I'm getting there, and I just couldn't believe my eyes. And at the time, 2012, it was just after the Euros, which happened in Poland and Ukraine. So a lot of the players were on holiday. But the players that I do remember that were there, that were training, were some of the players that had crashed out of the competition early were already training. So people like Timoshchuk, who was playing for Ukraine at the time, they crashed out in the group stages, so he was there. Daniel Van Boyten, he was there.
Wow. Some real players.
Some real ballers, man. Who else? Emre Can, who was a youngster at the time from the academy at Bayern. He was there. Obviously, ex-Liverpool. Who else was there? I'm trying to think. I think Xherdan Shaqiri was there as well.
Mr. Calves.
His calves in real life are even more ridiculous than on TV, bro. I'm telling you that. So obviously mesmerized by that moment, because you're seeing them train, and that's when you're realizing, what I'm doing in training back home is it's not enough. Like, it's nothing. Because I'm thinking sometimes when you're passing the ball to each other, like, oh, this is a good pass within our youth teams and stuff. But then you go to Munich and then you see these guys train, and the things that's not even passing the ball to each other. That's shooting the ball into someone's feet, bro. And they're just controlling it like it sticks. That's when you're like, okay, yeah, I see why they're pros. So obviously we sign in and all these things, we get our trading gear, and I don't know, with me, as soon as I get on the pitch, there's like I can be all excited and I can be all nervous, but as soon as I get on the pitch, there's a switch in my head and I just forget about everything, literally everything, and I just focus on what I have to do. And that's what happened in training. So we did a few small-sided games first, a few exercises, shooting drills and all these things. And I'm not gonna lie, my shooting drills were awful. Small-sided games, awful. I guess that was a little bit of the nervousness that was still there. But then they put us in different teams, and we had to play because we were 112. So my math's not the best, but we were put in different teams of 11, and we played 11 aside. And I think it was 20-minute each team. Winner stays on, and that's when that switch came on. 11 aside, winner stays on. They put me up front, and I think we stayed on for 3 games in a row, and I bagged the brace in each game.
So wait.
20 minutes each game.
So wait a minute. So you're telling me basically your shooting drills, everything training wise, it was like you were just there for a holiday and a jolly.
Yeah.
But come game time, big game time player, brace. All right, cool, okay.
And it was pretty simple, Put 3 on goal, 1-on-1, slotted it. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't spectacular goals or nothing. I wasn't really good at that when I was playing. I'm being honest. Like, my strongest attribute is my pace until this day. So obviously a bit of technique here and there, shooting technique and stuff. But you're not gonna see me score scissor kicks and bicycle kicks. That's not me, innit? I'm gonna be honest. That's not me. But so obviously one of the managers came over to me, and obviously because everything happened in German. German is my native language, so I didn't have no communication issues. Came over to me and he was like, "You're good." And I looked at him and I was like, "Thank you." And he's like, "No, I'm serious. You're good." And
so did you reply, "Danke"?
Yeah, of course. I said, "Danke."
Yeah, danke.
So my other teammates that were playing with me at the time, they came over and they were like, "I think this means you're going to get picked." And I wasn't trying to get ahead of myself. And I was like, "No, I want to be focused. Like, I'm not." And I didn't. Thank God I didn't let that get to my head, because that might have been a stumbling block. I might have been. Man, I said Aaron James.
Aaron James, innit?
That might have been a stumbling block, and I could have taken things lightly. I could have been nonchalant, and so I'm glad it didn't get to my head. So, deliberation time, and we had to go to like a venue. My dad came over from Belgium as well at the time, because my mum had to work. So my dad came over, and we were all sat in the audience, and they were calling the teams one by one. The players one by one, starting with the goalkeepers, then the defenders, midfielders, then they got to the strikers, and they had named already. The forwards. Sorry, they had named 3 forwards already, and there was 1 left, and there was another guy, a Moroccan guy, cold baller. I'm telling you, cold, left-footed, techers, bro. Telling you, and I was like, surely they're gonna pick him, and the guy goes, "Yeah, last striker we're gonna pick." All the way from Belgium, bro. I just couldn't believe it, bro.
Come on.
Stood up, shook his hand, gave me like a letter, and I had to go out and because German national TV was there, so I had to go give an interview and stuff. Couldn't believe it, bro. I can't even remember what I said.
What was the interview?
I can't remember what I said.
Was it like, obviously it's all about the 3 points?
Oh Lord, you know what? I can't remember what I said in that interview. I honestly don't remember. I was so excited, adrenaline running through my body. My dad was there waiting for me, crying his eyes out. He could not believe that his son is about to play against the Bayern Munich, bro. And so they gave us a few weeks to go home and prepare for the whole thing. Obviously, I went home, trained like a madman, training drills every single day. Then I flew back to Munich, and this time I didn't forget my passport. Went back to Munich, and that's when the real deal happened. Like, that's when it really started. We trained for about 3 days, took care of us, hotel, food, everything, coaches, like everything was taken care of. That's when I knew, Bayern Munich got peas, bro. Because the hotel weren't no small, it wasn't no small hotel kind of thing. It was like a big time hotel,
Your own bed, none of this bunk bed business.
Bro, my own room, my own bed, bro. I had like a jacuzzi in my hotel room. Like, I was like, okay, this is how these players are living. All right, cool. Say nothing. So we train every day. We get the best food. We get the best treatments, the best tactical advice. We're having tactical sessions. Bear in mind, this is only like one friendly, because it's not like a club. This is just a competition that we won. They were treating us like pros. So we're having a tactical session. We're breaking down how Robin moves and how Ribéry moves and how this guy moves and all these things. And I'm just like, wow. But I'm focused.
Mm-hmm.
So the day comes. I know that I'm about to play against Bayern Munich, but I'm not realizing it completely yet.
Yeah.
So we get on the coach. And I remember that day very well. There's some, like, I'm that type of person now. When something happens in my life that was either negative or positive, I remember little details here and there. So I remember on the coach, I had a Sony Ericsson X10, the one that you could like open like this from like.
Yeah. I know.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Was that not in Chris Brown's video? That phone.
I think it was. You had the big one. You had the small one.
And you had to, yeah.
So I had the small X10. Was it X10 or Z10 or something? I can't remember.
I think we've got one of your fake accounts in the building.
Yeah, I've seen it as well, but it's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Anyway, we move.
We move. So, and I was listening to Maybach Music Power Circle.
Okay.
I was listening to that. So we get to the stadium. Fans are outside the stadium. You know the typical thing like we see on TV. You get out the coach, the cameras are there, taking pictures. You wave a little bit, you know what I mean? And we go to the changing rooms.
Enjoyment.
Yeah, man. We get to the changing rooms.
There you go. Yeah, it was from Excuse Me, Miss. It was. See, I knew it.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Shout out to the guy. Shout out to the brother.
Yeah.
So we get to the changing room and I see my shirt there, number 38.
Nice.
From that day, that actually became my lucky number. Like every time I play on FIFA and I create a player, it's number 38. Yeah. So number 38, the dressing room was massive because we played at not at the Allianz Arena, but we played at the what's it called? The Audi
building.
We played at the Audi Sport Park, which is a stadium from the second tier, third tier now, I think, Ingolstadt.
Mm-hmm.
So we played at their stadium because they were doing some works at the Allianz Arena, so we couldn't play there. So we go out, bro. That was the first time that I felt overwhelmed. Like, you know, when you go out to warm up, the stadium was a capacity of like 13,000, I think.
Okay.
Well, to be precise, 12,229, because that's what I remember seeing on like the big screen. So we go out, packed stadium, bro. Packed. We go out, people are clapping. They don't know who we are, but they're clapping anyway. That's when I felt overwhelmed. And I was like, wow, these people do not know who I am. Obviously, I saw my parents there, waved at them, family and everything that came to watch. And we're warming up. And the stadium announces that the Bayern Munich players are coming out. And the crowd goes nuts. Absolutely nuts. So me and another African brother that were there, our plan was to go straight to Frank because we knew he speaks French, we speak French. We'll go chat to Ribéry in French. And that's where you saw the picture of me chatting to Ribéry because we were there.
Yeah. I remember that.
So we speak to Frank and we're like, yo, take it easy today. And he's like, bro, I'm getting paid for this. This is my job. I have to be on smoke today. And we were bantering a little bit. So we warm up, we go inside, put our shirts on, and we're in the tunnel. And I think that's when it hit me because I looked nervous, and I don't know how the player that pulled up next to me could tell I was nervous, but I guess he just knew because of experience. Yeah. So I'm in the tunnel, and this guy pulls up next to me. Yeah, and he's like over 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". I don't know how tall this guy is. And he puts his arm around me and he goes, "Are you nervous?" I look up and it's Jerome Boateng.
Imagine.
And I say, "Yeah, I'm nervous." And he's like, "Is your family there?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Just focus on them. Focus on what you have to do. That's it." As soon as he said that, boom, focused, gone. So obviously we go out, stand in line, do the whole clapping thing, salute the fans, and the game starts. I played the second half, played half an hour. Not going to lie, we got spanked 15-0. It's Bayern Munich at the end of the day.
That was going to happen, though.
Yeah, it was always going to happen. We knew that. We were prepared for it. It's Bayern Munich. Mario Gomez scored about 6 goals that day. Ribéry scored one from halfway, from the halfway line. Müller scored a few. Philipp Lahm scored one. I think the only 2 guys that were not there because of injury were Schweinsteiger and David Alaba. apart from that, full squad. And
so I mean, you could say you can say they were a bit weakened when they beat you 15.
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that. Do you know what I mean?
So Aaron, you scored against them, right? You scored your goal.
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Did you not? I thought no. You
score
played against them.
Yeah.
Who did you dribble past? I beg your pardon.
It was Holger Badstruber that I drove past. Yeah, I beat him in the foot race. I beat him in the foot race. But the other picture that you saw was Van Boyten. I almost had beaten him in the foot race, but then he put in that tackle, and then obviously the ball rolled over to Manuel Neuer. So yeah, man, it was a great experience. I learned a lot. It was fun, but I learned a lot. That's when I understood, because before that, I used to be the type of guy that used to just slander players without having a reason to slander them. But after watching that, I understood that there's different types of players, man, in this football business. For example, a Thomas Müller is not the quickest, he's not the most skillful, but my God, he has a brain, bro. His footballing brain is up there with the best and brightest I've ever seen live with my own eyes. Guy, I don't know how he does it. It's very rare to see a player who just knows where to be at the right time, and you either have it or you don't. That's my opinion. Then obviously you understand that certain players, when they're quick on TV, they're 10 times quicker in real life. Someone like a Robin, someone like a Ribéry, these guys are built like tanks. They seem skinny on TV, but when you see the muscles, the way they're built, like these guys are superhumans, man, like super athletes. It's crazy. So
do you know what? Let's segue, because there's a few. I want everyone to hear that story, man, because I think it's a beautiful story.
Yeah,
and people don't realize that, your dreams came true. You're in a position where you could play against some of the people you look up to still to this day. And obviously with your German heritage, let's be honest, you do have that. To be able to say you've done that, there's a lot of people that are not going to be able to even do that. There's many footballers that probably never play
against Bayern. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Yeah.
So we're talking about different calibers of players and stuff. Someone said Aaron James there. Daniel James, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to come into it. There's a few players I want to talk to you about.
Yeah, go on.
Because, one thing I've learned about this YouTube thing, if you speak your opinion and people don't agree with you, you're deluded. Well, you're labeled as deluded, or you're labeled as you have no football knowledge because of your opinion. Now, I'll repeat that, guys. Because of your opinion and people don't agree with you, they call you deluded, which is interesting. Now, Daniel James is I won't say controversial. He is at a caliber where we know what he is. We know what he's good at. Okay? What's your thoughts on Daniel James overall?
I think Daniel James is a very decent player. A very decent player who has incredible amounts of pace, which is not given to every footballer. However, I don't think that he's Man United quality.
Okay. When you say Man United quality, okay, I'm not grilling you here. It's just because
don't worry.
I think when I say Man United quality, I think like some people, it's a phrase we use, but some people actually don't know what it means. Because it's not like we're saying that he's not good at football, he can't play football. We're saying that there's a caliber of level when you come to Man United. If you're not already at, you should be striving to be.
Yeah.
And he's not. I think people forget we got him from Swansea, right? 15 million, I believe it was, or something like that. He at best he's going to be a squad player, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. And listen, if any of us were in his position, we're coaching. We're at Man United. Do you know what I mean? Like, do what you can in training, and we move. And I think for him, I'm happy for him slightly because he got a couple of goals. He done what he can. He showcased Aaron what he's capable of. Now, is it to the level that we want to see every week? No. But why do you think when you give an opinion on a player, I'm not going to say they come for you, but why do you think? because I'm going to come to another player. But why do you think when we say stuff about Daniel James, people want to come at us?
I think because they sympathize with who he is. They can relate to who he is. They sympathize with, or they show empathy with his story, because obviously his father sadly passed away.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that have been through that as well can relate to that. And I think it's also he's the stereotypical British player, I think, to me. And when I say that, I mean someone who's not going to be technically gifted, whose positional sense is not the best, but he's just going to give everything he's got on the pinch, and he'll show you that he's given everything that he's got to the point where he's just gassed out. And I feel like large parts of the British fan base, of the United fan base, love that type of player. They would rather have a player like a Daniel James who's just going to leave everything on the pitch, rather than someone who's going to maybe, how do you explain it, preserve his energy and use it in the right moments. And
in quality moments.
I'm not going to say pick and choose, but know when to use it, know when not to use it. Do you see what I mean?
Smarter player, yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like with our fan base, it's more about how it looks like. And personally, I have a problem with that, because between someone who makes it look like he's working hard to please the fans and someone who doesn't necessarily make it look like he's working hard, but he's doing things that people might not notice that can still be labeled as working hard. Do you see what I mean? And I think that's where the difference comes in. And that's where maybe, the criticism comes in, and, people telling people like me, for example, that I'm deluded and I don't know what I'm talking about. And it's a sad thing, because we used to live in a world where, I'm used to living in a world where even you and me, like, we can disagree on certain things, but we'll just be like, all right, cool. You know what, Aaron, that's your opinion. And, Bobby, that's your opinion. And we're still cool. Yeah. Unfortunately, we live in a generation where when you don't think the same way that someone else thinks, one, he's going to insult you because he wants you to think the way he thinks or she thinks. Yeah. And as long as you don't, you will be deluded. You will be this, and they'll call you all types of names under the sun. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. So I think the reason, it's important. It's weird, isn't it? Because you're always going to come on. Also, we got on, and we say people go viral and stuff. Yeah. Now everyone thinks you hate Bruno Fernandes, and which is a random thought why you would hate a football player that's good for us. There's a comment here. Shout out to Douglas, my Scottish friend. Hello, Aaron and Bobz. Please, guys, if you're new, please subscribe.
Shout out, man.
D'Angelo Williams. Man United will be a great club again if the fans start realising the criticism towards players is actually standard being held high. Do you know what? I'm glad you said that. And Bruno Fernandes, okay, we're not going to go into the clip because we know what was said. We know what these people, we're not really going to give them time of day.
Yeah.
Aaron, people are saying that, I say not people, on social media, people at you saying you're negative, you're this and you're that, okay? Because you said something about Bruno and assist and stuff, can you let these people elaborate what you actually meant? Because I feel like people didn't watch that stream. And I emphasize this, Aaron. We watch clips. Go watch the stream. They're clipped for a reason. Okay? But I'll allow you to elaborate, man.
Yeah, for me, and the game I was talking about was the... I can't even remember myself. What game was it?
Not Sociedad. Was it Sociedad? No. Yeah, it was Sociedad.
It was Newcastle.
Newcastle, yeah. Newcastle. Yeah.
Because it went through Jamal Lewis's legs. So what I meant by that was you and me grew up in a generation where an assist back in the day, and I'm not trying to sound like an old man because I'm only 27.
No, but isn't it? Football has changed very, very quickly. For some good, for some bad, but tomato.
Yeah. back in the day, an assist for me, or the way I learnt it, was you literally pick out someone that you want to cross the ball to, or play the ball to, or put through on goal, and that would be labeled as an assist because you literally assist someone with the intention of him to score, right?
Yes.
And I took two examples. The first one was the Bruno wonder goal that he scored against Everton. Brilliant goal. Nobody can tell me that the pass that came before from Wan-Bissaka was with the intention, Bruno's going to score a banger in a few seconds. Do you see what I mean? That's my opinion. And another example, because to me, that's not me criticizing Wan-Bissaka. But for me, if you give Wan-Bissaka that assist, which results in the Bruno goal, it's taken away the credit. That is Bruno's goal. He made it himself. He got the ball, yes, but he took a little touch and boom, back of the net. That's his goal. I gave another example. Champions League semi-final 2011, I believe, at the Bernabeu, Barcelona, Real Madrid. The ball gets played into Busquets. He stops it. Messi picks it up. One player, two players, three players, goes past the fourth one, fifth one, puts it past Casillas. Boom. To me, that is Messi's goal. You give that assist to Busquets, you're taking away the beauty of it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Fair enough. You could probably say, Busquets knew that Messi's going to do that because Messi's just a genius. But personally, that's just my opinion. It's taken away the beauty of Messi's goal, the way he went past the players. If anything, you would even forget that Busquets stopped the ball.
Exactly.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. And I hope people do clip this and actually go and watch it because, with the time that we've got and stuff, there's a few other questions I want to ask you, Aaron, because I feel like you deserve to get your point across.
Of course, man.
I already know your feelings towards social media trolls because we talk anyway. I already know your thoughts on racism and stuff. What's your thoughts on discrimination towards women? When I say women, obviously, I'm not gonna sit here and be like troops this, troops that, or male this, male that. No, it's a situation that's happened, and it's been rectified. They've done a stream, they've spoken stuff. I'm not gonna touch on troops' stuff. What I'm gonna touch on is the abuse they're receiving, as well as everyone, all the males and stuff. Why are they targeting women?
I think football is such a male-dominated sport that people are getting uncomfortable, really. Certain people within the footballing industry are getting uncomfortable with women just speaking about football in general. And I feel like it's wrong, man. I feel like it's wrong. We're going towards, a generation where women are interested in sports as well, and football in particular. Do you see what I mean? I feel like they should be given an equal opportunity as us. And I have never had a problem with, speaking about football with women. Do you know what I mean? Bro, if anything, I'd love to sit down. Bro, if I can, I'm not trying to.
I know what you're gonna say,
bro. If you can have a girl who you can speak football with, bro, that's perfect, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine just arguing about tactics with your girl. Bro, come on, man. You see what I mean?
My cousins' partners, or their wives actually, are all football fanatics, and they go crazy. One of my cousins supports Arsenal. Chris, his wife Yancine, she supports Liverpool. So you can imagine that household. So my other cousin, him and his wife support Man United. And you can imagine one's all in, one's all out. So you can imagine and that's their best friend. You know what I mean? And it's the reason I'm saying this is because we all say when you're growing up, it'd be amazing if you could do this with this kind of girl, but if she like that, bro. So when we do come across women that do like football, I just don't understand it, Aaron, because I'm like, what's going on? Why is that? The last thing I will ask you about, Aaron, because I think we're going to have to do a part 2.
I'd
to
love
be
to, man.
honest. Because,
Yeah, I'd love to.
I mean, what are you doing tomorrow? Are you busy tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna be busy. Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna be busy.
Well, let's get it sorted because I think we need to do a part 2 because the other part I want to talk about because I wanted to mention about what you done for BLM in Manchester because I followed you then. You know, you were the protest you were at when people were speaking. Nuruddin, shout out Nuruddin.
Yeah,
And
he was a big part of that.
Yeah, 100%.
He was a big part of that.
I think we're gonna leave on. We're gonna wrap up on the football terrorist.
Yes.
Now, the reason I'm asking that, the reason that I'm saying this because a lot of people can tweet and so on, and then a lot of people will just assume and stuff. But there's no ill blood between you and the football terrorist.
No, because I'm still talking to you. You see what I mean? I'm here doing a show with you, bro.
do you know why I'm laughing, Aaron? Because like I'm new to this, obviously. Obviously, like you've went independent, you're doing your own thing. I'm the new host and stuff. So it's like it's funny because like you know, I read tweets like, oh, massive breakout, BITZ and Aaron. I'm just like, what? Now I'm thinking that's not the case. But then I'm like, why am I getting drawn into this? Anyway, I just want to ask you a question. When you read stuff on social media that's negative towards you, how do you deal with it?
The way I deal with it is there's this thing that I process in my head, and this is directly taken from a quote from a guy that I really like, called Gary V. And I think about the time that it takes for someone to, first of all, not like a person. 2, not like the person's content. 3, 3, clipping the content or taking it, whatever it is, and commenting on it negatively and thinking you've done something good. So I'm thinking, okay, I could never, right, not like someone, 1. 2, go and watch their content, but I don't like it. Consume the content, clip it, and go and post it on another social media platform and say, this person is this and this person is that. When someone does that to me, I just laugh it off, really. I have such a strong mentality and thick skin that I can just laugh it off. Obviously, when it gets too disrespectful, then I'll be annoyed.
You have to address it.
I have to address it. But most times, I'll just laugh it off. Today, I've done a stream where I was reacting to the Europa League draw. And there was people in the comments, asking me, how much do they pay me to be a fake United fan? Because this is another rumor that was floating about that, people like me, Saeed and Rance and Flex, we're paid by some company and we're paid to be United fans and speak negatively. Right? Yeah, very creative. I never would have thought of that. That we're paid by some media company and we're paid to be fake United fans. Like, people don't know who you are and they just assume things. Let me tell you something, people don't even know the first 3. It's like Aaron's first video with the Europa League fixtures. Yeah, man. People don't know why or how I ended up in the UK in the first place. And I'm going to be very honest because this is an honest conversation. And people certain people know this because I've spoken to them in private already. Certain people might discover this and think, rah. Can I swear on this? I can't even.
Go for it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I was just thinking, do I have to say PG or not?
Thanks for asking.
So I got caught up in some shit when I was living in Belgium, right?
Okay.
Which I'm not going to get into, but that thing ended up getting me into a fight, right?
Okay.
It ended up getting me into a fight where it was me against 6, 7 man, whatever it was. And I could have lost my life in it because afterwards I found out such and such had a weapon on him. I don't know, but afterwards they told me. A few days after, my life was threatened and all these things. So I had to leave Belgium because my dad was fearing for my life, which he had every right to do. He was fearing for my life. So he was like, listen, you've got family in Manchester. Go there, until things calm down. If you have to stay there for a year, stay there for a year till things calm down and you come back and start living your life properly. Because I have to be honest, despite the bullshit that I got into, I wasn't living a healthy lifestyle. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's on me. But on the actual story and what happened to me there, my life was threatened, so I had to leave. Landed here in November 2016, and my dad was like, listen, stay there, take your time, reflect on things, and when things calm down, you come back. I stayed here, saw the number of opportunities that I was able to get as a youngster, because I feel like over here, obviously, people, don't get me wrong, Belgium and Brussels, still a very nice destination. You know what I'm saying? Belgian fries, waffles, and all these things. Cool, you can go. It's safe.
Good disclaimer.
It's safe. You can go there. But I stayed here and I saw the number of opportunities that I could get as a young guy. At the time I was 24. And I was like, listen, I might as well just stay here. And that's when I took the decision to stay here. So ultimately, what happened to me in Belgium was a blessing in disguise. So when people come to me and try and tell me that I'm paid by some media company and stuff, and someone said I've been paid by a media company since 2012. My bro, 2012, I was living in Belgium. I wasn't living here.
It's context, that's the thing, isn't it? And like, it saddens me because you need to break a story like that down, to make people actually realize that, you know, they're talking shit.
They are. They literally are. So people don't know you, but will assume things that they have no business in and they know nothing about. Do you see what I mean? So I never wanted to share this story because ultimately, like, emotionally and mentally, this story is really, like, it messed my mind up, innit? It really messed my mind up. And when I came here, I richly that was another opportunity for me, and I felt like I could start from scratch, and I felt like I did it well. You know what I mean? And I got my life back together. Obviously, now I'm doing YouTube and I'm loving it. Do you know what I mean? I'm absolutely loving it. I'm doing content with people that I like, people that like me as well. I've created friendships with people I've never seen in person like you, but do you know what I mean? We're cool. And that's what it's all about.
100%.
That's what it's all about.
And do you know what? We're going to wrap on that positive message. That is what it's all about. You know, working with people, creating opportunities, and actually enjoying life, enjoying a hobby that you're very passionate about, that we all want it to one day to be our full-time job. Listen, Aaron, thank you so much. I'm gutted I can't do more. I want to do more. So I believe we're going to do a part 2, guys. Definitely.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because we're going to touch on racism, mental health as well. But Aaron, look, thank you so much for coming on, man. Like,
I appreciate you, man.
I'm happy. I'm happy you came on. And I'm glad that you said the stuff about Daniel James and obviously Bruno, and obviously about the media, people saying that you were paid. I find it quite interesting, you know, because I think to myself, people actually wake up, log in to type this stuff.
Yo, if I was really getting paid to be a United fan, I'll be driving a Range right now, bro. Because
I don't think you'd have time to talk to me.
No, I don't think I would. I don't think I would, man. But yeah, people are more concerned about me. Yeah, but anyway, we'll get to that in part 2.
Yeah, no, definitely doing a part 2 next week. Listen, everyone in the cut, please smash a like. If you're new, please subscribe. Aaron, thank you so much for coming on. Seriously,
thank you, my bro.
There will be a part 2. Has to be a part 2, 100%. Peace and love to you all.